Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and we're back here in Transport Fever 2 on my Island Hub series. And we're starting here overlooking the most magnificent freight hub on the island. To be honest, it is the only freight hub as such where all my freight, not all my freight, but most of my freight collects, ready for distribution to towns far and wide. Now, we've added several services to this hub in recent episodes, and I keep saying I could do with redesigning this so it operates more efficiently and has room for growth. And I've kind of put it off because I know that if I try and do it ad hoc, then it will just turn into a mess and I will have a very inefficient arrangement, or even more inefficient than I have now. So this is going to be the focus of today's episode. I've drawn out a plan. I think I know what I'm doing, and we're going to have a properly designed freight hub here with including depots that feed directly into it, so they don't have to go through some convoluted route coming out of my badly positioned depots here around the passenger hub in the centre of Ajaxpost city. Before we get started on that though, I want to give a thanks to, well, one person in particular, and also draw attention to a couple of other things that we will sort of do in passing in this episode. First off, thanks to NW9, who commented on the previous video at least, saying how much they're enjoying the series, so thank you so much. I'm glad you are. But also suggested that perhaps it's time to look at optimising my freight routes. And yeah, they're absolutely right. It is, because it's something I don't pay a great deal of attention to. Now, I know a lot of detail players who really sort of like to get into the nitty-gritty of a game's mechanics and algorithms and work out how to make the most profit from the least effort, basically. And the way to do that, apparently, is to match the rate at which your trains or whatever, the rate at which your line, whatever vehicles you're using, the rate at which your line takes whatever it's carrying out of the source station, and particularly for industries and the like. That, for example, we have, and this is the issue, the industry that NW9 commented on particularly, was this oil well here in Baghdad is always generating 400. So what we should have is a freight route which actually takes out 400, a rate of 400 on that line. And I do actually have that more or less now. If I check this, my oil processing, 517, that's actually excessive. But what we're seeing here, since I upgraded the train to the last episode, is this station is no longer overflowing with crude oil, which it was previously. Now, I've had a look at a couple of other lines, and the problem I have is I'm not terribly good at getting into the detail of the mathematics of games like this. Or any game for that matter, to be honest. But because I'm sending all my goods via a widely distributed network, it's not going from point A to point B and then point C. It's going from point A to point B, then it's split up and merged with other stuff going to point B, and point C is a variety of other places. So because all these goods are coming into the hub here, I'm at a little bit at a loss as to how to calculate the best rates for my routes. Now, the examples I've seen on YouTube and some other places show fairly simple examples like, oh yeah, my industry is producing 400, ship out 400 as the rate of your line, or your town demands 100, then make sure your line has a rate of 100 to meet that demand. But because routes coming out of the hub here are going to all sorts of different places with mixed freight, I'm finding it difficult to do the maths. So if you have any insights into how I could sort of do this, if you can give me any clues and so on, or any guides or other videos on YouTube that will help me get my head around my bizarre, it's not bizarre, but my more complicated freight arrangements, then that would be very much appreciated. So please do make some comments in the comment box below if you can help me out with working out my freight routes. One I did look at earlier actually was this one here, which is fairly simple, which is the logs going from there, from the dock to the dock, from the train station to the sawmill over here. Now the train route, I think, the planks exchange, Oh, that is a little bit short of the 400 that is being produced here. But then I noticed my ship route, which is the primary source of the logs coming into the network, is actually already at 423. But we do still have a substantial backlog waiting here. So I'm wondering, because they only carry 70 apiece, is it might be worth adding another ship to that. Do you think I should do that? Because the logs here, they're getting cleared fairly quickly. So yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll add another vehicle to that line. So we'll clone one of you. And that should then, does it tell me immediately what the new rate is? It does, 564, which actually kind of matches the trains. No, it doesn't. It's fine. Why did I think it did? I've no idea. I'm completely, yeah, I'm at a loss. Anyway, we're going to do that. Another thing I want to do is, because we're now getting so many routes coming out of the freight hub here, we've got routes carrying fuel and bread, food, to Jakarta, to Manila, to Yerevan. We've got tools coming in as well. I want to make sure we're getting enough stuff delivered here into the hub for my distribution routes to take it out to their destination cities. And our main source of cargo, certainly the commat and the food, is the Fukushima cargo bulk line. And I'm thinking we could get another train on here. It's a fairly long route, and they've got a fair amount of stuff here to take back. Is that we could actually start adding another train. We could start by adding another train to this, rather than having. Or could I put bigger trains on here? Actually, how efficient are you? That's always the question. I know some players. In fact, I think some of the guides do say this. It's better to have one big train than several smaller trains. It's more cost effective that way. But I'm concerned that how slow these trains are. What's the performance of it? Mediocre. Yeah, they're quite slow to get going, and there are a few slopes on this route. I'm going to go with another train, I think, on here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to fill it up with another train. So I'm going to need some more money, because this is going to cost me at least 6 million or so. I had taken my loan down to 23 million, so I've now taken most of that back out again. So let's manage this vehicle. We'll clone you. Oh, I've got over 1.5 million left, so I'll get that, repay that again, so I don't pay that little bit of interest. And that train should be coming out of my station here. Yeah, you see, working its long way round to the hub. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to forward this for another couple of months or so, get some money back in the bank so I can rebuild this hub. I don't think I'll need too much money for the hub itself. Building stations isn't that expensive, and I don't need to make too many major changes to this, I think. So yeah, I'm going to roll forward another couple of months, and then we'll come back and we'll get into the speed build of fixing my freight hub here. Be back with you on the other side of a video effect. Well, that didn't actually take too long. We're now in November, so it is only a couple of months or so. In fact, it hasn't been that long at all, because that new train we just purchased on the Fukushima cargo bulk route still hasn't actually got to its first stop, which is the Ajaxpost hub here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop talking shortly. We're going to turn on the soundtrack, get into a speed build, and I'm going to redesign this hub slightly to make it more efficient, so my trains can get in and out that much faster. So I will see you again in just a few moments' time. And there it is, our newly designed, our newly redesigned, enhanced and improved Ajax Epic MMX freight hub. And all the trains, I think, should be going into a nice selection of separate lines. Some of them have been given alternates where appropriate. But I think we should have a much better flowing set. Oh, I need signals. I haven't put the signals on. Oh, bear with me a second. Right, let me get the signals out. We don't want one-ways coming out of the depots. So we'll put you there, and there, and there. I'll put some there. One there, and there. That's fine. Yeah, we've not got any tracks coming out this way from these two platforms. We may do that in the future, so I'll need to redesign this little bit here perhaps. But I'm expecting we can add more platforms on if we're coming in from this left hand side. But we're using most of these platforms here for the right hand side. We do want some one-way signals though for our switches. So you will go, you're there. Actually, you can stop there. You best stop there, actually. Otherwise, you might hold up things. I suppose I could stop you there. You'll only get in the way of the depot tracks. Why are you giving me a problem there? Oh, is that because of the one-way? Ah, okay. Do we need to double slip something? Not that. Where was that? Okay, so if you're going in there, you'll come down. That's okay. So you could go in there. Don't understand what's the problem. Oh, but then when you're coming back out, you're going. Does that need to be a double slip there? Nope, that's not a problem. So that signal there is giving me a problem, is it? Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, we're going to leave it out then for the time being. Let's put some more signals in. You've got that coming out there. We've got a signal there, so you're out of the switches. Okay, and going back there. Do with a signal there. So the Jakarta train is freeing the switch. Coming in here. We've only got one train coming in here at the moment. But we'll put signals on there anyway. And on the other side, yeah, we've got a few trains in here. Again, it's pretty much one line per set of tracks, certainly. And on a couple of these lines, like the Manila line down here and the Baghdad fuel line up here, there's just one train on those lines as well. So, and whoops, there, and there. Okay, that should be all right. There are no warnings, and that's doing that. That is all good. And how are we doing for money? I've still got. Oh, okay, we've just got into debt by over $1 million. Right, so we'll roll on a little bit more and keep things working. And I'll be back with you on the other side of another sexy video effect. Well, we're back. It's December 1917 and we're doing reasonably well. Our money is okay. There's a very noisy bus going by. Was actually in profit for this last half year. And I've taken my loan down to 25.5 million. And I thought, starting this second part of the video, we'd have a look at our head office, our headquarters. We last looked at it when I put it down, basically, and it was just a tin shack, effectively. But as you can see, yeah, we're doing quite well. So we now actually have a proper building, office, and a fountain out front. That is quite magnificent. Anyway, we need to get on and do something else. Well, I was thinking the hub obviously will take a little time to bed in a bit more, and all those extra trains will take time to get working. I'm quite happy actually though that the fuel is getting in to the hub. Is that the Yerevan service? No, it's not. Of course it's not. If I'm going to see a train on the map and click on it, it's clearly never going to be the one I'm actually want to talk about. So you're sat there. Actually, that looks like a tool delivery coming in. There are 15 tools on there. That's not a lot. Oh, there are... there's 23 waiting there. Yeah, I don't, as you may know, I don't on these lines tend to have my trains waiting for very long until they're full. So 110 seconds, which seems quite long enough, but it might, maybe I could increase that. Again, your thoughts on using the wait till full and the wait times would be appreciated. If anything you feel like saying, then just drop it down in the comments box below. That would be wonderful. Anyway, what I thought I would do, this occurred to me as I was building in the last episode the long new passenger route from Ajaxpost out to Surat. Surat is not that far from Chengdu. So why not extend this line a bit more and build a station in Chengdu? How big is Chengdu? 128? It's not too bad. Oh my goodness. You see what putting a train into a town does. It's gone from, that's probably less than 100. It's now gone to 158 in size. That's impressive, just from one little train station. And that train, the train is just about to come into town, isn't it? Yeah, so should we watch that? No, I have upgraded another passenger line, actually. Did I? No, it wasn't. It was a Manila freight line I upgraded off camera, but you know, that's just a by the by. So how much are you going to make me? 200, nearly 300,000. I think we could support. Well, we will need another train on there because it's very noisy, isn't it? If we go to the line instead, the rate on that is 68. Was that it? Okay, yeah, because that was pretty much the number of people waiting here. It's not so many people in Ajaxpost waiting to go back out to Surat. 33. That's enough to make money, I think, on that train. Certainly, by the time it gets back there, it's going to be 40 to 50 actually. But if we can get Chengdu in the mix as well, that's going to be fabulous. So, where are we going to put our station in Chengdu? If we've got anything around here which will impact my placement decision, let's look at how the town is distributed. So, land usage. So we've got the residential over here. Will we want? Oh, that looks like a very messy. That's water, isn't it? Yeah, it looked like a range of hills, but obviously that was a downward direction hill. Fuel. We've got an oil. Oh, I say. Oh, this is good, isn't it? We've got goods required in Chengdu. We've got a goods factory just outside, and we've got the oil chain here to make plastic, and there's another oil well there. We've got a steel foundry over here near Kiev with lots of iron ore, and this could work. This could be a very profitable end of the map as well. So yes. Where will we? Actually, I'm just thinking, will we want anything else to go into Chengdu? There's no other towns nearby. These other towns, Port Moresby and Hong Kong, are on that distant island. Kiev's over there. I don't think it really matters. So the station's there in Surat, so it comes round. I think it... do I want to put it here on the residential side of town? I could do, and have a totally separate freight station on to the side. You know, I have been in several towns. I have been sort of mixing the passenger and freight stations up. But I think that's what we'll do. I think we can come around there. Well, yeah, that works. That's quite smooth, actually. We'll put that in there. Right, so I will be stopping talking quite soon, handing over to another slice of soundtrack and getting on with a speed build, for which I'm going to need a lot more money. Oh, actually, no, before we do that. Yeah, then we'll get into the speed build and I'll come back. But first off, with December 31, 1917, are there any new vehicles coming to the production lines in 1918? There is. Oh, it's a China Railways JF1. 50 miles an hour. Looks quite beefy, doesn't it? So where's my depots? Got a depot there. Locomotives. The China F1, 50, ooh, 1150 kilowatt power. That is, I think, yeah, beefy is definitely the right word. That's a powerhouse. Might well make use of that. Anyway, yes, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to hand over to the soundtrack and we're going to find ourselves building a brand new passenger station. Be back with you on the other side of this. That's all it takes. Yep, we have a lovely new station using a mod of the vanilla stations, providing them with a different set of colour schemes which you can use. And obviously all my mods are linked in my Steam collection, and you can find a link to that in the description below this video. Haven't been able to afford a new train just yet, but I've just got 6 million here. So is that going to be enough to add another of these trains on here? So if I go to this one, actually, how much is this train worth? It's not that old. How old is it? 11 months, not even a year. And your value is, oh, less than 4.5 million. I can probably afford you then. So if I clone you, there you are. Where are you? Actually, if I bring that train up to start with as well. So you're coming out of which depot? So you're going to be heading to Surat. Yeah, I think we could do with a new depot or new depots which can feed directly into Ajaxpost rather than sending them off to their other destinations. We do have people waiting here already to go to Chengdu or Surat, one or the other. Where do they want to go? Are you going to tell me where you want to go? 33 to Surat, yes, because Chengdu's only just appeared on the destination list. So I dare say people haven't cottoned on just yet. So this train is heading down there. We've got some buses created to get the lovely people of Chengdu around and into the station, and there's already people waiting. 3 people. Okay, 3 people. That's a start. That is definitely a start. So we will watch this get itself into Chengdu, and we will wrap this episode up about here. So we've got lots of passengers. I think we can probably expand this, or sorry, enlarge this. Expand, yeah, expand, enhance the capacity on this service as well. There's another one I also want to look at, and that's going into Yerevan. Where's Yerevan? There you are. These are quite small trains because this was an extension of the line from Ajaxpost to Turpan. And we've got lots of people. 139. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. What's this? 2 trains of 46 each. No, that's not going to cut it, is it? We need to add more to this. So you've got good performance so far with 2 of those wagons on. So how can we edit you to make you a bit more capacious? So which passenger wagons are you carrying at the moment? The Kohar 6500. So which one are you then? You're that one. Yeah, I think we can add one of you to there and another one to there. That's not quite 2 million. Could I add? No. Can't quite add 4. Okay, we'll add that to that one. And we'll keep train 1 in sight. And once I've got another few £100 in the bank balance, we'll add the extra carriage to you. So that's about it for this episode, I think. Thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of Transport Fever 2, the Island Hub series. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today. If you have, it'd be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Just click on the old thumbsy uppy button. Even better though, if you've got any thoughts about what I'm doing with the game, or suggestions for where to go next, or if you feel like having something named in your honour, or after something you're it's a particular favourite of yours, anything you feel like adding, just please drop a note into the comments box below. That would be awesome. Other than that, of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you could do that now. Oh, it's 900. These are expensive carriages, aren't they? Right, I need nearly a million then. Right. I thought it was only 2. No, I can't keep count. Anyway, yes, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, then you can do that now, and that way you'll know when I upload another one of these or any of my other Let's Play series. But from me, Ajaxpost, here in Transport Fever 2, until the next time, bye-bye for now.